Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and today we are going to be talking about some very exciting news. As you know, Season 27 of Apex Legends is about to end, and Season 28 is coming very, very soon. Now, EA and Respawn were really kind enough to be able to, give me early information and early access to some assets that I'm going to share with all of you today, and just some of the changes that's coming soon, as well as the Apex Legends Creator Hub. We're also able to kind of help me get a one-on-one interview with the dev team. So I was able to talk to the devs, about specific changes and just ask them just more information. So I will be sharing that with all of you today as well. So thank you to the team for just providing me the opportunity. So as you can tell here, we have Fuse as one of the big changes this season, and I'm super excited for that. It's going to be called Apex Legends Breach. That's the name of the season. So I'm super excited. Before we even do anything, let's talk about just the overview of what the season is going to look like. So brace yourself. Close quarters combat just got way more intense. Destructible Hardlight mesh windows have hit the Outlands, smashed through open, devastating new entry points, or reinforced to hold the line. Break through or make your stand with the new legend updates. Become the unstoppable aggressor with Fuse and Bloodhound. Jump past their lines, rain down chaos, and hunt down anyone who runs. Or become an unpredictable defender with Catalyst and Controller legends. Build deadly ambushes, fortify your position, and watch attackers crumble against your defenses. Oh, and did we mention it was our birthday? Oh my gosh, happy birthday! Celebrate 7 years of Apex Legends and gear up with your squad and tactical skins from the Breach Battle Pass and complete challenges to unlock legends permanently. Wow, that's awesome. So that 7 years. Where did the time go? Where did in a blink of an eye? I swear, guys, time goes by faster the older you get. It's kind of scary. So these are the kind of things we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Hardlight Mesh, Fuse Catalyst Bloodhound controller updates, removal of drop zone and ranked, Bot Royale evolved, weapon meta updates, loot pool cleanup, the 7th anniversary, and Breach Battle Pass tiers and rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight to the first one. Now we have Hardlight Mesh as the main thing that they've been discussing here. So, what exactly is it? Well, Hardlight Meshes are the new destructible and repairable windows that turn buildings into close quarter battlefields. When intact, you can see Hardlight, but you can't shoot or move through it until it's broken. Okay, so it's not like Rampart's wall. You know how Rampart's wall it's you could shoot through it, so it's not like that. So blast Hardlight apart by dealing damage and speed up their destruction with explosive snipers, shotguns, or melee to open up devastating angles or attack. Or build unbreakable fortresses with new defensive abilities. Controller legends can repair or reinforce Hardlight to restore or increase its strength. Very, very, very interesting. I have some more information about this from the devs, so I want to share that with you guys. But before we do that, let's read the developer philosophy on exactly why they implemented this. Now, after 7 years of Apex Legends, we got really excited about the features that don't just add something new, but also reshape what players already know and love. With the new Hardlight mechanics, we're opening the door and window, I like the joke, to new creative gameplay and combat routes in a way that will have you seeing the maps and the whole roster of legends with fresh eyes. We can't wait to see how these new entry and defense points shake things up for even the most experienced players who know these environments inside and out. So Eric Genovese, the lead BR designer, was able to kind of share exactly. I kind of like that they've been doing this recently. I know we're super excited for new legends, new weapons, but when they rework stuff that already exists, it's a breath of fresh air because you already know the character, you already know the map. So when they rework something, especially like Olympus in season 27, it just makes you love that more because we already know what it was like before. So I really appreciate them kind of being able to do that. And I wanted to show you guys some of the pictures of what the Hardlight Mesh actually looks like. It's so cool. So here we go. We have the very first one here. As you can tell, this is Rampart right here. And then this is the Hardlight Mesh. I think, someone's trying to push them, but it is breakable, as it did say, when I was explaining it. So this is breakable, which is cool because is that a Rampart and then another Rampart? I'm guessing this is Wildcard, because you can't have two of the same legends. But it's cool because there are certain areas that are going to be allowed to have Hardlight, but not every single window I assume is going to have it. like for this building, I think this is World's Edge, like the Mirage ship. You can hard light this area right here, but you can't shoot through it. It can be broken. So there are different colors. So I am kind of wondering now if certain colors kind of dictate the strength. Now I'm going to pull up some information here that I got from the devs. It says here that it's going to be the same design as the Catalyst rebuild delay. You know how you can't, if it breaks, you have a little bit of a delay so that you can reinforce, and then you could reinforce it. So it's not going to be instant. You can't just spam it. But now, so it's going to have a base of 200 HP. So not bad. Like, that's you could one mag that with certain weapons. But then if you reinforce it with a controller legend, it says that it's going to have 1200 HP. So that is huge. 1200 HP is no joke. And if you're like Rampart or something like over here, like you could probably put like another wall down, or if you're in Newcastle or something, and then just have more defense power. But it's really cool. I mean, I love this ability to be able to kind of defend a little bit more. The controller legends really needed this work. They just needed some kind of buff, other than Caustic, of course. Caustic had his season for that. But I mean, in controller legends in general. Now it also says that the controller legends will be getting this as a passive ability. So not only will they be able to scan the survey beacons now, and another survey beacons, the ring consoles, and they can get an evac tower. They said nothing's changed there, and you can also get the shield inside the ring, the passive regen. So it's really, really powerful stuff. So I'm super excited. Let's see the next picture here. Yeah, as you can tell here, it looks like the different colors kind of indicate, it possibly indicates the health of the actual Hardlight itself. And we were able to ask them which maps are going to be, having these more. And they did say that E-District will be heavier because there's going to be more buildings in general. So, expect that on E-District. On maps like maybe World's Edge, it's going to have a little bit less because it's more terrain-based. And E-District is more, building based. So it does make sense because these are more buildings. So it's super cool. I mean, I'm really, really excited for this. I could just see, how the different fights can go. Now, one thing I do want to mention here, they did say that there's more damage that's going to be done to the Hardlight mesh, depending on the type of weapon or abilities they'll use. So it says here that, certain weapons like shotguns, for example, legend abilities, Fuse is really strong this season. So I am guessing, even though it has 1200 damage, it's going to be really, really strong. Like it's going to be, not really strong. Like it's going to be really strong to break. But if you just have a P20, it's probably not going to be able to break that too easily. And so I'm just really excited for this because I think skirmishers, had their season, right? Assault legends have always had their season. Last season, Recon Legends Valkyrie was really strong. So it's time that we see a little bit of the controller meta come out a little bit. I mean, it's nice. So we get a little different pace of Apex a little bit. So super excited for that Hardlight mesh. And let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here. Fuse, Catalyst, Bloodhound, and controller updates. Oh, this is going to be the one that you guys want to hear, I bet. So crash through enemy lines with Fuse. Use the new Knuckle Jumper upgrade to leap past enemy defenses and claim brutal offensive angles. Deploy his reworked ultimate to hammer defenders with explosives. That's exactly what we were talking about with Hardlight. That clear dug-in positions and drop flames from your ultimate with the new Pyrotechniques upgrade, and recharge your ultimate by dealing explosive damage with a reignition upgrade. Wow. That's a mouthful. Sorry, mate. No camping here. My Australian accent isn't that great, but I will. That is awesome. Look at this. There's a ton of new stuff, not just ultimate reworks, but with new upgrades as well. New Pyrotechniques, recharge your ultimate by dealing explosive damage. So it seems like he's going to get a completely brand new perk tree. And so let's read the developer philosophy and exactly why they did, reworked Fuse. Fuse has been in our artillery sights for some time now, and introduction of Hardlight Glass is a great time to bring his updated explosive into center stage. We're making all of Fuse's abilities more cohesive and fast-paced so that he's equipped to get himself into better positions, and more importantly, get his adversaries out of them. His new ultimate has a lot more uses in a lot more places, while new upgrades give him flexibility between improved movement and area control. Devin Wees, a senior technical designer. Now, this one I'm really excited for, because Fuse, as we know, has been in the bottom of the pick rate for quite some time now. So it's nice to be able to see that he's been getting a lot of new changes, and I think I have a picture. Yeah, I have an awesome picture. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, this one. We have a few pictures here that is really, really cool. As you can tell here, this is Fuse's ultimate against Hardlight. It's kind of hard to tell, but Fuse is over here in this corner, and he just broke the Hardlight really, really easy with the through the actual Hardlight itself. Now, I was wondering, like what exactly, because is the ultimate? It sounds a little confusing with words, but as you can tell here with the pictures, it seems like they're going to have Fuse kind of have like, when it lands, there's going to be many, kind of bombs around it in waves. So it's not just going to be that ring of fire, how it was before. It'll actually deal like more damage. Like, I don't know the exact numbers. They didn't give me the exact numbers of how much damage it's going to do, but it's going to be like it's like clustering of different kind of bombs together to kind of be more effective than just the ring of fire. So we're not going to be able to exactly know until we get footage of Fuse being able to do this, but it's something to keep in mind. Like, they reworked it to become a lot stronger. So I am super excited to see how this is going to turn out. But as you can tell, like I said, increased damage to Hardlight is going to be really powerful again for Fuse. So I'm glad that they brought a legend that can counter all of this, defense. And it says here as well that he can actually, let's see the next image here, leap. Oh my gosh. One of his abilities now is to be able to kind of leap in. And I mean, this is called a knuckle jumper upgrade to leap past enemy defenses. So, it looks kind of interesting. From this image, it looks like a sparrow jump, more so than like an ash dash. So, we asked them, the developers, and we were like, so what exactly, what kind of height are we thinking? And they said, I quote, it's going to be like an octane jump pad, except the double jump. So that's super high. So an octane jump pad, it can reach pretty far. So the fact that he has that ability as one of his new upgrades is going to make Fuse not just an assault legend now. It's going to make him kind of like a movement assault legend, like a skirmisher hybrid almost. Like remember when Ash was meta? Well, I think Fuse has some time to shine here. So we'll see. I'm super excited for this, and as you can tell, Fuse has an awesome skin here. And that Mastiff, man, oh my goodness, that definitely, if we can get our hands on that skin, I'm super excited for that. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into the next one. Now it says here, hunt down every last survivor with Bloodhound, track enemies with an improved tactical scan, and massively reduce ultimate cooldown. Yes, definitely needed there. Score a knock during your ultimate and the hunt extends. Chain eliminations and never stop the chase, and new upgrades, including Raven's Flight, which gives White Ravens longer range of beautiful upgrade there. And Taste of Blood heals on knock during your ultimate and more. So let's read the developer philosophy of, exactly why they worked on Bloodhound. It's been a while since Bloodhound was a more popular pick, so we're rolling out some small but mighty adjustments to their kit. Bloodhound's tactical should feel faster and more fluid, whether you're pushing into a fight or disengaging. And strong play during their ultimate should now feel much more rewarding. And this is just a start with Bloodhound. We have more we're planning to share later in the year, and these early changes will help us lay the groundwork while we collect valuable feedback along the way. Devin Wees, Senior Technical Designer. So let's go ahead and pull up Bloodhound's picture that we were able to get. Oh my gosh. I am so stoked. This is giving me Stories of the Outlands kind of, vibes. So it'll make Bloodhound feel like a hunter again, if you ever watched that episode of the Stories of the Outlands. So I'll be frank with you. Bloodhound was actually like really, really an underpicked recon legend for a numerous amount of reasons, right? Valkyrie was able to fly. Sparrow has a double jump, right? Vantage has the bat. Every single recon legend has some type of movement built in, and not just that, different different abilities like that exist. And then Bloodhound was just kind of left in the corner. So I love the changes that they're going here, with the fact that you can actually have more, White Ravens have longer range. And then this one is probably one of my favorites. Taste of Blood heals on knock during your ultimate. So it seems like if you keep using your ultimate and you secure knocks, and then it'll extend the hunt. So I'm just super excited for this one. Bloodhound, it's time that we see a little bit of a change for this legend. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I could have chosen a better roster myself here with Fuse and Bloodhound. And moving on to our final pick, we have Catalyst. So seize control of the battlefield with Catalyst. Piercing spikes can now be thrown further and trigger faster once deployed. Build even more lethal defenses and with 2 new upgrades. Ooh, let's see. Hidden spikes. Keep spikes hidden until they trigger, while Soul Piercer makes spikes trigger faster and do more damage. And the improved Dark Veil ultimate is now a defensive powerhouse. It can be deployed horizontally to seal hold choke points, forcing attackers into fortified walls that slice incoming bullet damage in half. Oh my goodness. Here's the developer philosophy. Now, Catalyst has a very unique controlling tools in her kit, but we'd like to amp up her versatility. With a large, faster tactical and more flexible options for both her ultimate and upgrades, Catalyst players should feel far more capable when holding a zone. We can't wait to see the new types of plays now in the cards with their ultimate specifically, or especially. Devin Wee's senior technical designer. This is super exciting because it seems like with Catalyst, like I said, I'm glad that they're working on legends that just have not been chosen for a long time, right? We had Rampart last season, we had Caustic the previous season before that, and Watson's always been great. So it seems like Catalyst was just time. So the fact that you can now have the spikes hidden, this one is still shocking to me. So this basically is allows you to kind of get information around the map, or because enemies won't try to won't avoid this because they won't even know it's there. So I'm super excited to see this. If you don't want to go that route, you can go Soul Piercer, which triggers and more damage if you want to go more in the aggro. But this seems really cool, like a lot of different changes. Now I don't have a picture for Catalyst, unfortunately. So you would just have to kind of imagine this until we get more information in the coming weeks. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. This too is really cool. It can be deployed horizontally, the Dark Veil ultimate, because how when you deploy it right now, you could just kind of do it in front of you and you'll get a line, like the line of wall is going to be kind of, it's not facing you, but it's going to be I don't know if that makes sense. If you play Catalyst, you'll know, or if you could just try Catalyst in the firing range, try putting the ultimate down and you'll just put it in front of you, but not it's defending you. So it'll be more you have to place it and then you have to go around it in order for you to actually take effect. So this one's cool because it can be placed horizontally. It's going to be like a wall. You place it and you now have a wall in front of you instead of you having to rotate around for the wall to even be protecting you. So I'm super excited to see how that looks. Now it also says here, build impenetrable strongholds with a new defensive Hardlight mesh abilities. Controller legends can repair and reinforce shattered Hardlight to rebuild broken mesh and increase it beyond its original strength. Now, like we did mention earlier, 1200 HP if it's reinforced, and if it's just a base, Hardlight is going to be 200 HP. So super exciting there. Now, this is going to be a big one that you guys are really excited for. Removal of drop zone in ranked. Yes, you heard that right. After experimenting with a drop zone over the last 2 seasons, we decided to revert to drop zone from ranked. Ranked will be back with the original dropship in parity with pubs. So we definitely want to hear the developer philosophy here. Our initial intention was to make the ranked experience a bit closer to the ALGS experience by giving you a POI at the beginning of the match. The goal was to reduce early game chaos and achieve cleaner pacing at the beginning and throughout the match, and in that regard, make ranked feel more competitive. But the drop zone came with its own set of problems, mainly that the POI given at the beginning has a significant impact on the match's outcome, making players feel like it's RNG. Being assigned to a less populated side of the map significantly increases chances of gaining RP through placement, while being placed in high-density zones leads to chain fights, third parties, and early eliminations. Moreover, this is aggravated by the ring. Being safe from it means plenty of loot opportunities and low rotation. Being outside the ring means more encounters, being pinched by both the zone team and rotating team, being forced into a choke point, etc. After listening to community feedback over 2 seasons and observing its impact on match dynamics, we decided to roll back this change. Clement Bachelery, lead designer. Now, so I am super stoked for this exact change, because I think a lot of us, when we played ranked, the drop zone was nice in the beginning because, you know, it allowed us to be able to get fair loot without having to worry about an early 3v3 right away, like off drop, to like a team having to fight, or like the team's dying so quickly you're not able to get KP anymore. So it was able to, it kind of calmed the waters down a little bit in ranked. But yeah, RNG started becoming a factor into play, because I noticed, like, for example, like a map like Olympus or you know, Broken Moon, or not Broken Moon, E District, right? Sometimes I will land in a no-name place and another team gets to land in, you know, a really, really high density loot area, and they're already in zone. So, you know, it almost didn't feel fair, because now we're, you know, our team wouldn't have any loot and we'd have to rotate to fight teams, and we'd probably die that match. And then another team is just they could just hang out in ring, and then they just get RP, and then they could farm KP because they have good positioning. So I really like the change that they're going with here. It's going to be up to debate whether it's going to be better than, you know, the drop zone, but I am curious to see exactly, you know, how this is going to shape ranked now. And, you know, we're just going back to something that we already had, so it's, you know, I am curious to see what it's going to be like. And the one thing that they did say during the interview is that they said, you know, we did ask if RP or KP or any like types of things are going to be changed there, but it seems like they're not going to be working on that right now. The reason for that is because they are changing, like I said, the drop zone. They're removing the drop zone, and then you can now just go in the drop ship. So if they change the RP or KP, then it's a little bit too many factors that might be changed, and we're not going to know where to go from there. So they're going to change one thing and then just, you know, balance it out of what needs changes after that. So it really makes sense, you know, in a of why they're doing it, you know, like that. So very, very excited for this. So if you have your go-to spot, if you feel lucky, now you could do that if you're playing ranked. All right, so this next one, I'm super excited for this. Let's see, Bot Royale evolved. Now, Bot Royale has evolved to be more challenging for low and mid-skill players and more rewarding for all players. This game mode now supports between 1 to 5 fully human squads to join the lobby, with the rest of the squads being filled by our newly updated Apex bots, which have been better tailored towards low and mid-skill players. The cap on earning XP is gone, as is the restriction progressing your challenges. Earning badges is still restricted, and no stats will advance while playing this mode. Whether you are new to Apex and just want to understand the game, or a veteran who just wants to chill out, Bot Royale Evolved is worth your time to play. The developer Philosophy stated, "This past year we've had the opportunity to lean into improving our experiences for new players with Bot Royale. While high-stakes gameplay is always at the forefront of our patches, we see the importance of making sure that there are ways for players both old and new to sharpen their skills and progress through challenges in a more relaxing environment. Bot Royale Evolved lets you play with less pressure of faster-paced modes like Ranked, Pubs, Wildcard, and without sacrificing that could be spent progressing through the Battle Pass. This new mode is an ideal place to hang out, warm up, or wind down, or maybe get into an Apex crew for the anniversary seasons." Clement Bachelery, lead designer. So I have some pictures here for Bot Royale that I wanted to show you guys. So as you can tell here, we have so I assume that these are the bots here, and Yeah, I just assume these are pictures of the actual, bot royale. Really no comment for these, to be honest, because it just looks like like normal gameplay to me. Oh, but here, this one. So bot royale evolved a full BR experience with bots and 1 to 5 human squads. So when you drop, you're just gonna get a mixture now, a mixed bag of humans and bots. So it's stronger than the firing range because it's not all bots, and then you can actually be able to use perks. Right, in the range, you're not able to really practice your perks, or you can't really get the feel of the map. You don't know rotation. So this allows you to be able to, just practice a little bit more than the range, but not be as stressful as pubs or ranked or wildcard. So I kind of like it because a lot of new players, especially in the channel, have asked me like, Sonyx, like I feel like it's so sweaty, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to play. So this is a good stepping stone for a lot of new players. So yeah, super exciting here. So I'm stoked for this, for especially for a lot of new returning players that are kind of coming back into the game. So a W respawn there. Now this one, weapon meta updates. We're bringing back some serious hop-up power for shotguns like dual shell from the Mastiff, oh my goodness, disruptor rounds for the PK, and double tap for the EVA 8. At the same time, we're addressing the creeping power that the marksman weapons have benefited from recently. Bowcheck, triple take, and 30-30 are seeing reductions in fire rate and firepower, and the G7 will be moved to the care pack. Now it says here, with the addition of Hardlight mesh, we figured that there was no better time than now to give some love to our favorite tool of close quarter combat, the shotgun. Now Legends can crash through Hardlight mesh with all the firepower they need. Eric Kennedy's lead BR designer. This is exciting. We've seen the marksman meta. We've seen the SMG meta, which Respawn told me that they're not going to be really changing. So at least we know that the SMGs are still going to be there. Also, really quick note, the RE45, I know a lot of you have questions about that. It's still going to remain an energy burst weapon this season. It's not going to be changed. Alternator should still have the double tap. And the only things that are going to be really changed here is, like I said, the Mastiff. Dual shell, disrupt rounds for the PK. That's huge. Double tap for the EVA. That's really, really awesome. So we get a little bit of a shotgun meta. I wouldn't be surprised if I see some of you Mad Maggie mains come out of the woodworks here. So this is going to be nice. I'm really, really excited for this. And I can see a lot of players kind of, missing shotguns this season. So it's going to be nice to be able to, for me personally, I love running the PK. So the fact that it has disruptor rounds now, hopefully even, built in so that you could farm for damage for it. That sounds amazing. So we shall see of exactly how that's going to turn out this season. All right, loot pool cleanup. Experience less clutter and smoother looting. Knockdown shields are gone from the loot pool, and just like armor, your knockdown shield strength is now tied to your legend level. Survive, defend, attack, and gain Evo to increase your survivability while down but not out. To streamline your looting further and give players a jump start, white level 1 backpacks are equipped at game start and removed from the loot pool as well. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how much we've been needing this one, guys. Developer philosophy. As we've expanded Apex over 7 years, the amount of lootable items that can be found on the ground has grown quite a bit and has inadvertently created another trouble spot for new players. By taking knockdown shields and white backpacks out of the loot pool and utilizing them elsewhere, we're making looting a more streamlined experience while freeing up some early game space for more impactful items. Eric Kennedy's lead BR designer. This was something that I feel like we're all gonna enjoy. It's kind of like like the Evo thing. Like, do you guys remember when we were able to kind of pick up Evo shields versus now we're able to kind of farm the Evo shields naturally? This is actually a beautiful tie-in because I feel like when we first load into a game, we're not looking for a knockdown shield, but when you need it or when you have it, you're gonna be happy that you have it, because if you have a God gear and you have a white knockdown shield, you're probably going to end up going down. But if you have, purple, then you're most likely going to survive that fight. So especially for Newcastle, imagine Newcastle, sometimes your teammates won't give you that purple knockdown. So for its Newcastle, you can now just kind of get it naturally and don't have to even think about looting it. So this is going to be huge for Apex. And getting white level 1 backpacks is a nice quality of life change, because it is nice to be able to just finally get the loot that you need without having to like try to drop mats or sacrifice ammo. So just having something like the extra 2 space gives so much more flexibility for just how you play. So really excited there. All right, moving on to the 7th anniversary. Celebrate 7 legendary years of Apex. Claim community created rewards. Unlock up to 4 legends permanently during the event, and gear up with elite new SWAT pilot tactical skins. Dive into the community prize track to earn rewards created by the incredibly talented Apex Legends community, including 12 all-new items. And complete 3 challenges each week to permanently unlock a new legend. Valkyrie in week 1, Revenant in week 2, Conduit in week 3, and Sparrow in week 4. Hunt down the new mythic Peacekeeper and chase the chance to get heirloom shards, and gear up with new tactical weapon skins and legendary skins for Altar, Wraith, Newcastle, and more. All available as possible drops in the 7th anniversary event packs. And unlock a reactive weapon pack as you progress through the milestone reward track. It contains a reactive weapon you don't already own. That's huge. But for users who own all reactive weapon skins, they'll instead receive 50 exotic shards. That sounds really awesome, guys. Now, with the Breach Battle Pass tiers and rewards, it looks like there's going to be a Split 1 Premium, a Split 1 Ultimate, and a Split 1 Ultimate Plus. So, as you can read here, I'm not going to read these word for word, but there's going to be skins for Octane and Seer. There's going to be Reactive Bowcheck skin. We also have just a lot of different things. It seems like there's also going to have skin variants for Octane and Seer. So, it seems like they did the same thing with Valkyrie's premium skin. She has the Oni Aura skin. So let's go ahead and pull up some of the images here and see what we got to work with. Oh my gosh, so this is the reactive PK, it seems like. That's huge. Oh my goodness. I could already see the Octane mains matching that with one of Octane's skins. I know you guys, you know what I'm talking about. And then this is the other variant, I'm guessing. So it kind of gives that Gibby vibe too. I can see it. So we don't see what it looks like with the actual sights. So I don't know how cluttered or how thin, the sights were going to look, but it's a nice little change. I am curious to see exactly how this weapon is going to hold in with iron sights. So not bad. I really like that. I'm assuming these are the other skins as well. This looks like Altar, and then that's Octane. Now this is the bow. Not bad. Okay, I like it. I assume this is the PK as well. This is really cool. I feel like this is going to have some cool inspect animations, especially once it's like fully charged. Oh, we got Seer skin here, Octane skin here. Not bad. I like how it glows in specific parts of the skin. That is cool. Oh my goodness, that's cool. And we got again Seer and Octane here. I think this is the one that we described earlier, right? With the Octane and Seer skin variants. Yeah, so as you guys can tell, Apex Legends Breach Season 28 is on the horizon, and it sounds really cool. Obviously, we don't know what it's actually going to play out like because we don't have any actual footage, but like I said, just keep an eye out for any upcoming updates of just like things that we can actually see. But this is just really awesome assets and pictures that I was able to provide for all of you, and all the information. Thanks to Respawn and to EA. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for being part of this community, and I hope to see you all in the next video. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and please never forget to take care.